Well, I don't know what else DeepSeek has done. Uh, uh, Made NVIDIA go down $600 million, tanked the stock market in the US and India and a few other countries, uh, absolutely disturbed Sam Altman and made Donald Trump see red. But I know what it has done is that it has made me do my second video in as many days. Someone who doesn't like to do videos, but this particular model has made me do this. And what actually prompted me to come again in front of the camera, something which I don't really like very much, is the fact that um, NVIDIA stock dropped by $600 billion. Its value went down by $600 billion just in one day. It's a record for the NASDAQ. And I'm like, this is so wrong. I need to talk about it. So, as DeepSeek kind of is this intercontinental ballistic missile which has kind of hit the AI world and the investing world, especially in the US, I want to talk about who are the people I think who are net gainers and who are the one who are net losers. So let's start with NVIDIA. We have to. It lost $600 billion of value in a single day, as I said. However, I believe that it's a foolish and a colossal knee-jerk reaction. As we can see in the recovery the day after, actually. I posted this actually before NVIDIA lost the value, that NVIDIA will be a net gainer. Now, why? Now think about this. What uh, DeepSeek has done is that it has democratized AI. We used to think that AI will be produced by these seven, four, five, six big, huge guys, and the rest of the world will consume. But with models like DeepSeek, actually anyone with a change of to $20 million or so can go build a foundation model. And so what happens? So all of them need chips, all of them need GPUs. So instead of having, say, 10 customers buying 100,000 GPUs each, NVIDIA will now have hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands of customers, maybe buying 1,000 GPUs each or 2,000 GPUs each, and therefore a much more diversified customer and larger customer base for both its latest GPUs as well as its earlier GPUs. So I think uh, NVIDIA is going to be a net gainer. The other net gainer, number two, is going to be Microsoft. Now, Satya Nadella, I know he's this cerebral, intelligent, well-read, and an amazing CEO. He talked about on X or Twitter, he talked about something called Jevons paradox. And what he said was that counterintuitively, what this paradox says that counterintuitively, increased efficiency actually leads to higher resource consumption rather than lower resource consumption. You think about the IC engine, the internal combustion engine, which was powered on coal. IC engine used coal much more efficient, but uh, when the IC engine came, the demand for coal did not decrease, it increased quantum. And he believes that the same thing is going to happen to AI, where, according to him, he says, don't underestimate Jevons paradox. This is where the more efficient and accessible AI will see its use skyrocket, turning it into a commodity we just can't have enough of. So Microsoft does not sell AI. It sells enterprise software enhanced with AI. So the cheaper the AI, the less it has to spend on both CapEx and OpEx, and the better it can sell AI-infused software cheaper to many more customers than it used to. Anyway, a lot of customers were unhappy with Copilot and the way Microsoft was pushing it at this high price. Now it might just be putting these new models like DeepSeek in. Microsoft Azure Cloud is agnostic to which AI model supports it. It has OpenAI, it has Mixtral, it has Llama, and now it will have DeepSeek and others, and therefore reduce the overall cost to the customer and gain. Satya Nadella is a superstar. And with him and his Jevons paradox, do not ever underestimate him. Microsoft, net gainer. Then who are the losers? I think that maybe Google will be the loser. Because unlike Microsoft, which is so ironical, but unlike Microsoft, Google is tied to its own cloud. To its own AI in its clouds. It only uses Gemini. And in fact, many of its products like Notebook LM only use, um, you know, Google Docs. Now, even if it doesn't use Gemini and it still allows some other AI cloud AI models into the cloud, it will always give a more, higher advantage to its own baby, which is Gemini. And therefore, I think it will not be able to reap the benefits of this low-cost AI, which Microsoft and the others would be able to. Uh, I would not underestimate Google also. After all, they are the 800-pound gorilla of AI. They own the entire stack. But again, this innovator's dilemma, which hobbled its efforts when ChatGPT came vis-a-vis search, is probably going to hobble and make it a net loser rather than a net gainer because of DeepSeek. The other loser, obviously, is Meta. And Meta should be the one being the open source champion. Meta should be the one doing this. They aren't. The information says that there are Meta has already set up 4 war rooms to try and figure out what this DeepSeek thing is and why didn't do it, and now how to kind of tweak their models for the DeepSeek era. But I think because of the sheer money they've spent and the efforts behind Llama, and now there's so much cheaper, perhaps better Llama, they are going to be a loser. Apple, on the other hand, will be a gainer. Never invested billions of dollars on AI, now can go and make it or get it or buy it or rent it cheap. There's going to be this new category which I call scramblers, neither gainers nor losers. And OpenAI and Anthropic will be scramblers. So I'm sure that in both the companies, the lights have been on overnight in their offices as they scramble to figure out a new mode, a new way to do things since the last mode just evaporated. And the game for them, therefore, will not be to create the next huge foundation model, a GPT-5, 6, 7, whatever, but actually to focus now on reasoning and thinking and AGI to pull away from the crowd. Sam Altman has hinted as much in his latest post on X that they are going to go after reasoning, thinking, AGI, and I think that's where they will build the new mode, but they'll have to scramble to do so. The other big gainers will be startups across the world, like Perplexity. Now, Arvind Srinivas of Perplexity, I'm sure, is grinning year to year as he incorporates these low-cost models into his own Google killer and pays far less, pays cents to the dollars than he paid the big boys. And so the costs, if they go as low as claimed, and we have 1,000 models blooming or coming up, startups will expect to gain big. And all of them, I'm sure, are working on this. Perplexity has already come out saying that they have already incorporated DeepSeek. And in fact, he says that he has enjoyed this experience more than any other model. So startups and application developers, I think, will be big gainers because of this new development. The US, coming to countries, the US is a loser, evident. The lead they thought they had 2 or 3 years of lead on AI over China has just vanished into the ether. Trump is not happy. Stargate looks like a boondoggle. Remember Tesla and Chinese electric vehicles and what they're doing to Tesla? Same story. China will be a gainer. No shit, Sherlock. I don't need to explain why. Now let's come to India. I think it will be a gainer, but my fingers remain resolutely crossed. Because we have this tendency, unfortunately, to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. But we have a big opportunity here. We can build our own sovereign local model, AI model, foundation model. We've been kind of going round and round on this, the chicken and egg question of whether it should be models or applications. Neil Kenny has been saying something, C.P. Gurnani has been saying something else, etc., etc. But now with these costs, we have the opportunity to build not one, but multiple foundation models. And obviously, our startups will gain. And if you want to know more about that, just go back to where I was talking about startups. So who, in my opinion, will be the net gainers? Surprisingly, NVIDIA. Maybe a little surprisingly, Microsoft. Apple will be a gainer. Startups like Perplexity, etc. China, and countries like India. Net losers, Meta, certainly. US, certainly. Maybe Google, for the reasons that I explained. And then there'll be people who will be scrambling, the Anthropics and the OpenAIs of the world, to figure out that how do they again put daylight between them and these new upstart Chinese models. I don't know what you think. I would love to have this debate. So I'm going to post this video, which I've reluctantly made, everywhere. And then you tell me, post on it, send me mails, make your own videos. Tell me what you think on who the winners and losers will be. I'm sure I'm not right in every one that I've said, but I do think that, at least some of them will be borne out in the long term. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your day, evening, week. Thank you.